Welcome back, everyone. It's TFG Tuesdays with our man Jezza Cameron. He's on every second week, and Toby Green. The gather-round kings you boys are. You just turn it on. You're both dominated, and both clubs 4-0, 8-0 together. Welcome back to the program. I can't wait to hear all about it. I'll start with you, Jez. Norwood yesterday before Tobes. What do you think of the deck? It looked like you had a lot of fun with that crowd in the pocket in the last quarter.
Yeah, it was interesting. It felt like country football in a lot of ways, mate. It's nice to have the crowd right on the fence, right there beside you, and the wings are quite small, so there basically isn't any wings. So it sort of felt like we were playing on an airstrip a little bit, and the wind was favouring one end, but you can hear every single piece of heckling across the fence, which was nice, and yeah, nice to sneak away with another win.
I love it. We'll get right into that later. And Tobes, an outstanding performance from the skip. Had a lot of ball. So did a lot of forwards, actually. Looked like you had a lot of fun. Give us a little bit about Barossa. What'd you think?
Oh, it's a beautiful region. I hadn't done the Barossa before. It's kind of, it's different to my last few gather rounds because we're staying in Adelaide and playing at Norwood a couple of times. It's like you feel the buzz and you feel the energy in the city, whereas we were staying out in the winery and it was beautiful. Like it was so peaceful waking up Sunday morning before the game and sunrise and you're looking at the winery fields. But I had no idea what was going on in town, and you don't really get a feel for the atmosphere or anything like that. So it was different, but it was good fun. Good to get a good win, and but it probably wasn't your traditional gather round experience as to what I've experienced the last few years.
Got to get you guys on prime time back at Adelaide Oval. I read today, I think, I don't think a Queensland side's even featured at Adelaide Oval yet, and I don't think the Giants have. I know Jezza opened it up last year, which was elite. But boys, I've got a fair few segments about what's brewing, and I'm just going to steal one out of what's brewing with our friends at Inglewood Coffee Roasters because I just want to hit it on the head. It's the biggest elephant in the room. It's the Zack Butters potential fine. And Ashburton Football Club could be getting looked after by Sherrins, but we don't really know. We record this podcast at about 5:07 p.m. on a Monday, and there's all sorts of stuff. I've just read that there's no umpire sound or the mic wasn't on. Butters declaring he didn't say anything. You timed this to perfection, Tobes.
Yeah, it's good sort of publicity for the Ashburton Footy Club as well. I was watching it last night. Watched the second half in Jason Davenport's room, having a cup of tea, and I bought these cakes in the morning from a patisserie somewhere in the Adelaide Hills, and I said, we'll enjoy these after the game. They were some of the better cakes I've ever eaten, mind you. And I saw it happen. I thought, I don't want him to give the footies for umpire abuse. That doesn't sit great. And then it's sort of all unravelled, and he spoke post game and said he didn't say it, like he didn't say anything, and he asked the umpire for clarity and he didn't give him it. So yeah, it's a fair story because if he didn't say anything and he asked for clarity, and it's certainly probably not ideal from the umpire, and it's when you're put in that situation, and he would have had a bit of anxiety as well. It probably hasn't been handled the best. So yeah, it's funny the umpires have lost their mics this weekend. I haven't heard that one before, but well done to the AFL.
And I must say, I love Zack Butters, but Nick Foot's one of my favourite umpires. So I just don't I don't want to comment on this scenario because he's a very relatable, lovable guy. I love his work, and I don't know anything about the scenario, so I'm just going to sit back and play the host here and ask you and Jezza what you think of the whole thing.
Well, that's why I didn't say his name. You used his name. I like Nick. I like what he does in his punting podcasts as well. So, yeah, he might have missed the mark here. I don't know what's happened. He certainly would have been on the phone a few times today.
Yeah.
How are the mics just off? How are they off? They're never off, are they?
Nah, they're never off, mate.
There's always the occasional technical issue. It happens in the studio, boys, from time to time. So you never know. But it's a big story. Now, let's just have a bit of fun here, though, Tobes. You say you don't want it to, if it's off the back of this scenario, the mics are off. It's pretty much word for word. Is it a bit grey? Like, does Zacky Butters get the, is this a mulligan if this goes ahead with a fine because no one knows what's happened and it's kind of becomes a bit of a court case? Who's got the better lawyer?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, have the AFL, like, are they investigating it? Is there follow-up about it? I'm not really sure where it's at. Yeah, well, he sort of used Ollie Wine as a witness as well in his interview post-game, saying, because, like, and it wouldn't have happened to Jez before, like, when you do something in a game and you've cleaned someone up or your umpire suspends you for something, you do think about it and you're like, fuck, am I going to get a week? Am I missing next week's game? And you have a bit of anxiety around it. And if it was for umpire abuse as well, which is like, that's something you really don't want to get suspended for. Like, then I imagine he would have been really thinking about that and overthinking it. And if he truly didn't say anything, then like it's a lot of pressure to put on him, and that's why he was so emphatic in what he said. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It'll be, yeah, I guess we'll see how it plays out the next couple of days.
Foot alleged that Butters said, "How much are they paying you?"
How much are they paying you? So that's what Xander Maguire's just come out with. So apparently Butters has said, "How much are they paying you?" Is that umpire abuse?
Nick Foot should have said that to Zach as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could have used it back the other way, yeah.
Well, we'll let the journos and that do their work. It's going to be he said, she said. We'll find out exactly, but I hope nothing serious comes of it and we can continue this storyline around who gets 25 Sherrins and which club wins out of Darley and Ashburton. And wouldn't it be a great story if Tommy Patley can throw Toby's head into the turf this week, Jezza, and really fire our man up, and maybe Toby ends up on the fine sheet this week because it's a blockbuster game this Friday, which we'll get to. But Jez, let's just talk about what else is brewing. And the Masters, Rory has held on. Scotty Scheffler was just right behind him, but Rory holds on by one stroke.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We played, and it's an interesting one because the Masters were played, over 4 days. So working out your sleep patterns and how early you get up before the game was a real issue of mine. I was a little bit tired out there at Norwood, but it was nice to watch this morning. And yeah, it was an interesting leaderboard. There was plenty of big names up there. Scheffler always comes home pretty late. I think the first in 84 years to not have a bogey over the weekend, which is incredible at the Masters. But Rory holds on by the skin of his teeth, mate. I thought when he pushed that one off the tee on the 18th that he was in a fair bit of trouble, but he come up pretty clutch and walks away with it back to back for the big roars.
I seen Scotty just had a baby 9 days ago and they're all at the Masters watching. Maybe that's why he's a little bit slow to start because his last 2 days were off the Richter.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see that. He's a pretty cool, calm, collected guy. I like the way he goes about it. It's not, everything. He loves the game and he loves playing. He loves the competition and he loves winning, but also, he loves his family and just doing nothing as well. So he's a great character and it was nice to see them two fight it out right to the end.
Just on that, Scotty is very level-headed and, he's probably not the most energetic guy at the bar. If there was a couple of blokes that you could both pick from the tour that you just love to sit in the sheds and have a few beers with after the Masters, who would the two be for you both?
I'd go John Daly for sure. I don't think he's playing. He doesn't play in the Masters anymore, but just the stories that you hear about him are ridiculous. And all he does is basically drink. And have a beer in his hand. So there'd be some good stories there. And then I don't know who else I'd take. There's a few interesting characters.
Shane Lowry seems like a good lad.
Yeah, he does seem like a good lad. He was there at the end with Rory as well, so that was nice to see. But Ricky Fowler would be an interesting one, I reckon. Those boys look like they have a bit of fun. So yeah, there's a fair few.
What about you, Tobes?
Yeah, probably Shane. I mean, I don't know my golf that well, mate. So him and I'd go Jason Day, I reckon. He seems like a good fella. I've never had anything to do with him, but I was reading up about his golf brand that he's sort of got going or he bought into and has just turned the corner, and it's one of the bigger golf brands in the world now. I sort of only learned about that last week, and I was reading up a bit about it. It's a pretty interesting story.
Give us a little snapshot. When did he start? What revenue? What are they turning over?
Well, I think they were only doing a couple of mil, and he bought in a big percentage of it. I don't know what it's called. You'd probably know it.
I think it's Melbourne.
Yeah, it's spelled Malbon, Melbourne Golf.
Yeah, and they do like $30 or $40 million revenue now a year, and they're really like high end sort of t-shirts and premium wear, and they're going gangbusters, which I thought was, and it was on the back of sort of him investing early and trying to back it in.
It's got some really cool stuff. I mean, I'm a big Clutch & Co man, but yeah, Dommy could definitely get inspired by some of this stuff. He's just done a collaboration with the New York Knicks, and yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of that stuff going around. Athletes doing collaborations with great brands. I mean, one of Isaac Rankin comes to mind on the weekend with Ricks, and there's plenty of others that come to mind. But I love how Toby said, I don't know enough about golf. Jezza, you told me off air that you had to carry him when you played with him not long ago. Is that true?
Well, yeah, while we're on the golf, Tobes, have you improved your backswing at all? Because last time I saw that, boy, there was a bit of work to be done. But it'd have to be out of you and Cogs, wouldn't it, for the worst swing at the club?
It's not that bad.
No, I'm far better than Cogs.
Wardy was pretty bad too, mind you.
Yeah, Wardy's not great for someone who's really good at most sports. He's not great. Look, it's not a game I play a whole heap. I'm happy to play overseas. It's just not something I get around too much in Australia. So I do enjoy it. It's just I'd rather do other things at the moment.
Just describe Steven Coniglio's backswing for those that aren't there, because I'll get the footage up here when you're describing it.
I remember we had a golf day. There was quite a few boys there, and he was up on the tee. There's footage of it, and he just absolutely it's hard for him to actually hit the ball. Wardy's a bit more robotic. Like, he just looks like a robot. Like, he's just...
The Cogs played cricket for Australia under 19s as well, so it doesn't really make sense. And he's a batter.
It doesn't make any sense at all. So we'll have to get it up. We need that footage.
Yeah, we'll get it up and we'll let everyone know. You know what? When we put it up online, we really want to encourage people to get involved. We love your comments on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. But for this one post, we just love you to just comment out of 10 what you think and where you can improve. I'm sure you'll love that when it goes up. Boys, let's just jump over to the athletics. We had Stall Gift last week with Shakari Richardson. The sport couldn't be in better shape. And now Lockie Kennedy's breaking 10 seconds to win the 100. And Gout's just won the 200, breaking an Australian record. And he's running quicker times than Usain Bolt at a younger age. How excited are you two for the Olympics coming up soon, and these two superstars representing Australia?
I've been loving my athletics the last couple of weeks. We're actually in the team room Saturday night and had the athletics on, watching it. Jack Buckley's girlfriend she ran in the hurdles, but unfortunately hit a hurdle in the 100 final, so that'll hurt her as well. Like, hopefully she can still make com games. And we actually had one of our interns running in the 400-metre finals as well, which the boys didn't really know about. We're watching the start of the race, and they're introducing each individual, and everyone's like, "That's the intern."
Oh. Are you serious?
That's Brenton. He's named Brenton Kerr, and we knew he was like an athletics and a runner, but I'm watching it. I'm like, and I turn to people, and everyone's sort of doing the same thing as me. I'm like, that's our intern running in the 400 final. He came 5th, so bloody good effort. And and then
what's the intern's name?
Brenton Kerr. No, so it was great watching. Then Sunday morning as well was I think just before we're leaving for the game, the 100 final or the 200 the 200 final, Gout. So it was pretty oh mate, I was talking about it today on the bus, like 2032 Olympics, will there ever be more pressure on a human? Like, it's sort of Kathy Freeman areas.
Yeah, which as a kid, like, still to this day, I've never been more, like, it's just something that you just dream of. I can still remember it when she had the the hoodie on and running around Sydney. It's still one of the greatest things of all time. So Gout, Kennedy, we've got even Kennedy, the chick in the pole, but we've got plenty of stars. It's for these two runners here. They should be in their prime by then, so it's going to be exciting. Just on the track and field, boys, as kids, what were you dominant in? Was there one event that you used to just go down and dominate?
I loved the high jump back in the day, mate. I loved high jump as a kid. I don't know. I wasn't overly great at it, but it was my event back then.
Did you use the scissor and then once you go, all right, time to put the scissors away and start jumping over it?
Yeah. We used to have a bit of fun with it back in Dartmoor, mate. Real early days.
There's nothing worse than when you're scissoring and you go, righto, it's time to jump over it, and some bloke's still scissoring. You go, I'm going to get spanked by this bloke today. I'm not going to beat this bloke. If he's still scissoring and I'm jumping over it, I'm gone. Anyway, that's the athletics. Let's get back to the horse racing, Tobes. We're at the pub. Jezza popped in at the Cumby. What a day that was, and I can't thank you enough, Jez, bringing all the Cats boys down there. It was a bit of a pity. You'd never see Jeremy Cameron roll into a pub with a latte while there's free beers on. Never seen a man so disappointed, Tobes. But when Jezza left, we had a little we won a bit of money, and we said we're putting it all behind the bar on Autumn Glow, and Autumn Glow shut the bed. We couldn't believe it. Talk me through that one, Tobes.
I don't know if it shut the bed. It just couldn't get there. It just couldn't get the distance. I think Chris Waller came out and said the next day that they got it wrong and it won't run 2,000 again. So that rules it out of the Cox Plate, which is really interesting. And that it's disappointing, I guess, because I would have loved to seen it in a Cox Plate, but yeah, it just couldn't get there, mate. Just a couple of 100 metres too far, which it happens, and it really opens up the door now for Cox Plate in the spring.
Aliana pulled out of that race as well. He said it was just the Melbourne Cup. He's got that one circled. I think I saw an article. He just didn't want it to push. And when you watch the Winx documentary, you start to think he knows what he's talking about. It would have been the right decision.
Yeah, he definitely. No, he never pushes his horses, and especially the stars. So, yeah, it's interesting. There would have been a few punters loose, a few multis on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, but when they're $1.30, you just look on, just watch that one. There's you don't really make much out of that one. But Jez, talk to me. How disappointed were you just sitting there looking at the Pullum Lager, it was called, the Aces Lager, just on tap, just barrels of it just rolling through while you had your latte?
Yeah, it was. I did mention up on stage, mate, that it was disappointing that we're playing the Sunday game. It was one of those ones in the calendar where you really do circle it. I love Gather Round and what it's all about, and we have always tended to play Thursday night or Friday night, and we've always got the win, so you can enjoy the weekend. And it would have been nice to roll in with the Perrymans, and Isaac Cumming was there. There was a few Adelaide boys as well, and yeah, they were all having a nice frothy. But I had to have my latte in the water and get out of there, mate, which was flattening because it looked like it was a really fun time, and no doubt it went well into the night.
It was plenty of fun, and it was. As I said, it was unique seeing you on the lattes. But Pezzo was in great form. He really enjoyed it. You got this is what I love about you boys. But Tobes, you weren't there, unfortunately, because you're in the Barossa. We had about 12 or 13 lads roll through, and Pezza and Cheese were there at the start and at the end. Same with Dorso. They were just sitting back, drinking beers. They go, mate, we've got an 8-day, 7-day break. We're just going to sit back and watch the footy and watch the horses and really lap it up. Normally guys pop in and they just screwed off, but the lads just tucked right in.
That's good. Yeah, they're good when you have a win Friday or Thursday night and you can enjoy your Saturday arvo. That's we don't get too many of them, so we better win this week.
Who's the best person at the club that could, if you were to go Geelong v Giants, who would you put forward in a skull off? And if they win, the club gets $1 million. Like, who's the one guy you're backing?
Jack Henry for mine, I reckon. Is Mummy still around the Giants? Is he? Is he still getting around?
Yeah, he's still around. He's I think Johnny Patton used to be real good. I don't know. Connor Iden, I think, is pretty good.
Iden v Henry. They call it the Shane Mumford Cup. He was at both clubs.
A couple of key backs.
Big key backs. There you go.
Fitzharves actually would be unbelievable too, I reckon.
Have you seen our man Send It Slosh on Instagram?
No, I haven't seen
Do yourself a favour and check out Send It Slosh. He puts down a jug in about 4.5 seconds. Like, we're talking jug skulls now. That's how quick this bloke is. I can't even get a pot to go down that quick. It's an unbelievable talent. But while we're on the Cumby, just want to say shout out to all the people that rocked up, enjoyed the day that we had, all the blokes like Jezza and the crew that popped down and had a laugh on stage. It's pretty funny, Tobes. I didn't know that the West Coast boys had rolled in and obviously just trying to G up the Geelong boys, and I go, Jez, how many points? It's going to be belt to ass tomorrow. And before you know it, I got Jakey Waterman and Liam Baker sitting on me left. I hadn't seen him yet, and Jezza hadn't seen him either. He goes, 4 points and get out of there, Trano. and then we brought him on
I thought
stage.
that was a setup.
And then we brought him on stage, and they were sitting next to each other. It was outstanding.
Mate, I was just, before I knew that they rolled in, I was up on stage. What did I say? Something like, it was the worst thing ever, seeing the schedule. And we've got West Coast at Norwood on a Sunday. There's nothing worse than that in gather round. And then the boys roll in. Oh, man, I felt that embarrassed. But they're good fellas, though, aren't they? They're rippers.
Yeah, great fellas, mate. It was always, you want to get those kind of guys at the pub. They've been there. They enjoy the pub. That's what you need. That's the perfect kind of one for the crowd. Let's get into some footy talk, lads. I think we'll start with the Giants. Let's go to you, Tobes. Jesse Hogan's broken a new record. He's the first VFL AFL player to kick goals at 20 different venues. You think he'd be proud of that one?
Yeah, I know, would he? Yeah. That's not a. I don't think that'll ever get beaten, will it? Like, there's not many grounds you can play at these days. So, it's a fair effort by him. I think Wardy's got the record for the most grounds ever played at as well. So the Giants can go far and wide.
It's Wardy. The Giants do get thrown around, that's for sure. But a great win. Jaden Laverde's 150th on his 30th birthday. There wouldn't be many athletes that have done that, I wouldn't have thought.
No, it was good. He's a good man, Doss, as well. He's been a great addition for us at the club, and especially not having Sammy Taylor. He was one of our best yesterday as well. It was a great day, and had a bit of cake with him afterwards in the rooms. It was good fun. His family was all there, so it was a good day for him. And you want to win those milestone games, especially for guys that really had to earn them. So it was good. Good fun.
Just got a text message from Tom Papley. He goes, I hope Toby didn't have any cake after the game. He's want to look after his physique. He reckons you've been blowing out lately, old Pappers.
Oh, no, I'm starting to run on top of the ground. I can treat yourself after a game, mate, for 24 hours after that, and then you switch back on.
I love the interview with Campbell Brown, the Brown Dog. I was with him on Friday night at TKW Rooftop. Go check out that place if you haven't. It's probably one of the nicest establishments. But when you see him after the game, Tobes, like, do you just start laughing because you know he's going to have something real good for you?
I knew it wouldn't just be your stock standard interview. I knew he'd ask something. So it was funny what he asked. Yeah, I thought and I was being honest when I handled my response as well. I thought perhaps he's in pretty sharp form, and so are the Swans. So we're going to have to be on.
You will have to be on, and I hope it is on this week. I can't wait for that one. But just one more, Clary Oliver. Got some feedback for him. You know, I love Clary. I love the way he's going about it. Is he any chance of learning the song, mate? You've sung it enough. The big fella doesn't even know one word. Can we get like the old school days where they hold it up out the back? Like, what's going on down there with Clary and the Giants song?
Well, it's good footage just watching Clary in meetings. Like, the meetings aren't made for him. So I'm not going to waste my energy on teaching him a song that he doesn't have to worry too much about. Just let him go and just get to work at stoppages, mate. That's his bread and butter.
Just get to work. So you might win the granny this year, and he doesn't know the song, and the skip couldn't care less. Just get to work. Get to work at stoppage.
As long as he's a bull at stoppage, I don't care what he does, mate.
That is strong leadership. I reckon Jezza would say the same thing. And just a quick one. I want an update. Inner Sanctum stuff here, but Cadman and Cogs, give us an update on where they're at and their availability. You reckon this Friday? Oh,
well, they both can't play because HIA. Because
Cads as well.
So, he can't play because he failed his test. So he's got a decent little shiner on his cheek. He's fine, and he said he feels pretty good today. So Cogs was probably a little bit worse, and he was in a bit worse for wear after the game. He went straight home, and he was all right today. But yeah, he definitely wouldn't have played anyway if he had a pass. So we'll miss both those boys, which is bloody annoying, because especially for Cads who just came back and looked sharp as. So yeah, it's annoying, but it's footy.
Yeah, that is footy, and that is very annoying. Hope the boys are recovering all right. The team looked elite, mate. Great win, great performance from you. just gather around. We had you on our best mate is Statmate, as you know, and we're very lucky to have Statmate on board. You were circled on all our sheets as the gather round king, and there's just something about gather round that you find another gear. What do you put it down to? Is it just that time of the year where you start to really run on top of the ground? Because I think you're averaging about 3.5 goals, and now you're starting to have 29s and play up in the midfield. So you're just really turning it on around gather round, Tub.
No, it's a good fun weekend, so it's enjoyable. Like, it's good fun. We've been at Norwood, Barossa, and Mount Barker, so something different. And there's always good crowd and people from all around Australia. So I don't know, it's good fun to play in, but there's nothing. It's just a bit of a coincidence. I think they've got on the end of a few, but it is something I really enjoy. And I don't know, Jez, where are they going to put it next year? You reckon it's going to be hard to take it off Adelaide?
Yeah, absolutely, it will be. I reckon it's. It just seems like it's the spot for it, and you don't really. There's no real need to probably change it just yet. Maybe down the track, but a lot of people can travel in their cars and they make the trip across, make a week of it. Everyone I sort of bumped into sort of spoke about what they've been up to throughout the week, and then obviously over the weekend it's pretty good vibe around the city. So I think in the short term it'll probably stay in Adelaide.
Here's one for you before I go to Jez and talk about his elite game and just all the stuff you would have missed, Tobes, that I've got to ask him. But boys, gather round. Next year, if you could add one thing, it's staying in Adelaide, but you're going to do something different next year, what would you boys do? If you're the CEO of the AFL, what's one thing that you would do differently to enhance the product?
I don't know, question without notice.
Yeah. Could you do a triple header at Adelaide Oval?
I think
they've done that one
early.
Yeah, I reckon they did that early, one year, but I don't know. What else could you do? They do it pretty well, I reckon. Like, it's a good advertisement for the game, and besides, I haven't got anything for you, mate. Not off the top of my head.
Absolute stun mullets, you blokes. I've absolutely stunned them, boys. I thought that was my best question off the cuff, off the run sheet. I've gone bang, and the boys have given me donuts. So, Jez, we'll go straight to your game. Toes will think deeply here because he'll be on the sidelines here. He's just been given the red vest for about 5 minutes.
Well, I had my 400 sprint last year, which I still think gets a good buy-in from players if you're handing out $100,000. But the S&C guys are just, they push back too much on that stuff.
Yeah, they would. And maybe like a stall gift, maybe, I don't know, something like that, just around maybe it's a sprint, who knows. It's not about, when you're emergency, you're ready to go. You could probably get every emergency from every club and line them up, Tobes, on the Sunday night.
We want big names, mate. We want big names, right?
Yeah, you're right. You don't want your Sherrins and all that stuff. Now, Jez, Toby got into you. I don't know how many weeks it was, but he reckons you've never used your right peg. You're just hopeless on the right. I watched on the weekend and I noticed the right leg come out, and talk us through the snap because it should have been your 4th goal.
Yeah, mate, it was a clanger straight to the opposition, which is stock standard for the right side, unfortunately. It sort of popped out to me and I thought, I'm half a chance here. I probably should have kicked a drop punt, but tried to curl one in and kick it straight to my direct opponent. So, that'll probably go away for another couple of months, I reckon. But there's plenty of work to be done. It's nice not to pull the quad again, so I know it's in good shape. And heading into the back half of the season with a bit of practice, I might get there.
Oh, well, mate, you just were doing it all. What about they talk about your last quarter? It was very exciting. You had the pocket. Looked like you were having a lot of fun with the boys in the pocket at Norwood. I'd love to know what they were saying and what you were saying to them. But almost goal of the year, you've beaten a bloke on the inside. You've don't argued him. Then you're going, do I go the right? Do I go the left? You've sold the candy. You've rolled back on the left and you've missed. How'd you miss that one, Jez? You just got to finish them ones.
Yeah, you do have to finish those. I knew there was under a minute left, so I just tried to take everyone on in the back line, and didn't finish me good work. But it was one of those strange old games. I was actually pretty frustrated throughout the game. It was just windy. Like every quarter was different because you're punching into the wind and uphill, mind you. That ground is it feels like you're going uphill or downhill, and the ball kept going over my head. There was a few decisions with the umpires that didn't really go my way. So I felt like I was frustrated. In the last 30 seconds, I just tried to put the hammer down and do something for the crowd to get them up and about, but didn't quite get it done.
I was disgraced, Jess. I was disgraced. You took a chest mark. Well, not a chest mark, but you took a mark and the umpire's called play on. I'm like, mate, he's worked that. I watched it because it was windy and you worked that hard to get a sausage. And the umpire, you finally got one and he's gone, no mark. And they've shown the replay and you've marked it. What was going through your head there?
Oh, mate, I was, I wanted to get out of there at that stage. It was one of those things that just, in games, sometimes they just don't go your way. And I feel like that's happened the last sort of couple of weeks and I'll keep working on it. Things will hopefully turn. But, it would have been nice to have that one just tick off, an early goal in the game and get the ball rolling. But, he called play on, which is frustrating. But it was more the tackle in the third quarter, same umpire. But, I tackled him one-on-one and there was no prior. So I let him go. So then he had to get rid of the ball. He didn't. So then I tackled him again and he drops it on the ground, play on. So I was losing my marbles out there. I chased him around for about 3 minutes trying to work out what's happened there and ended up coming off to the bench.
I remember that actually. It was one of the smartest things I've seen. And I reckon it's maybe a tactic that we can call the Jezza tactic because I think that's what players should start doing because defenders don't know what to do because you can't really kick it out of bounds. Back in the day, it's just kick it long down the line and let it dribble out of bounds. But you can't do that now. Tobes, you missed it. As Jezza said, he tackled a bloke. It should have been holding the ball. So then Jezza just let go of him and then tackled him again and he dropped it. And the umpire just said, play on. And Jezza was absolutely squealing at the umpire. No chase from behind. He was just pleading his case. And so were we all watching. It was, but is it a tactic that you guys are going to start doing, especially inside 15? Because it's, normally it's you tackle, but now it's kind of like let you go and try and make a poor decision.
It's actually something that we have spoken about and every club probably does in a win the game scenario. So obviously if you're down by a couple of points and you need to score, they want to sort of wrap the ball up and keep it contested and ball up's a gold sort of late game scenario. And letting the guy go, he has to just handball it out, and hopefully something can happen from that. So we have spoken about that, and it's probably well known throughout the competition, just in those late scenarios.
Especially the Collingwood and Freo game, late, wet as we know, the weather was quite wet in Adelaide, and instead of tackling him in the forward 50, you're almost better off not tackling, so they have to just do a little dump kick and get the ball back. Because if you just keep tackling, like we know in the last dying stages, it just becomes like under 10 footy. It's just bees to a honeypot. Well, mate, you provided plenty of entertainment. I thought you played well. And, for a ground that was windy, it was good to find some form. The Eagles, they started quite well. I just got one more. Gimby, he's quite a physical back. I tend to watch you as I watch the game, but I was watching your leading patterns inside 50 and, geez, he's physical, isn't he? Like he doesn't stop. Even when the ball's probably a kick and a half away, he's still just throwing his arm into you and checking you. Did you get a bit frustrated with that early?
I knew it was coming, so it was one of those things that I was sort of ready for a bit. I tend not to waste too much energy these days on wrestling blokes, off the ball, but he's extremely physical. He's one of those players that, you take your hat off to because he always gives 150%. He's given 150%, 150 metres off the ball, which is he's an interesting character. But Mitchie Duncan, who's their backline coach, I sort of spoke to him throughout the weeks, and he's just been letting me know that he's coming. He's coming for me. So I knew I was going to get that matchup straight off the top, but. He's good for them. He's rock solid and gives everything.
That's great for Mitchie. I forgot that he's there and he'd be enjoying that role. Well, that's your gather round recap. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to go to a break, and after the break, we're going to preview the big round ahead. We've got a double header on Friday night, and both these boys are playing, but they're not playing against each other. The AFL has scheduled 2 Friday night games, and I've got a take on it. But don't go anywhere, and we'll break it down.
Everybody knows Nick Dacos dominates the MCG, but did you know his brother Josh had the ball on a string against the Lions in 2025? AFL stats are everywhere, but the stats that actually matter, those are harder to find. StatMate breaks down every player by ground, teammate and opponent, so you see what others miss. Disposals, goals, fantasy points, filtered the way you want, plus hot stats served up fresh every round. Download StatMate for free today, your best mate for AFL stats.
Welcome back to the TFG Tuesday podcast. If you're listening or watching, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you get in the comments this week. We've got plenty of stuff that we want to hear from you, and we'll read out the best one next week. Boys, big round 6 preview. You're both on Friday night. A little bit of a short turnaround, 5-day break. And also the AFL has scheduled 2 Friday night games, as I said before the break. I'll start with you, Tobes. You got the Giants playing the Swannies. This is a game where the Giants have really struggled since Jezza's left, I might add. And Tommy Papley and Toby Green was box office last year. You walked off at halftime. You're about 10 goals down. You had the documentary covering the spray from the big fella, and you turned around and got it done. That was a real highlight last year, but it's a serious rivalry, and this will be one of the bigger games on the calendar for the Giants Footy Club. So as the skipper, what do you got planned?
Yeah, well, we only got back about an hour ago because AFL was sensational in scheduling us in the Barossa and not being able to fly home. So thank you for that. We got home at 2:00 on Monday, and then so I haven't thought too much about the game yet. Sort of just still recovering, and then really short turnaround. You don't have many 5-day breaks, but I don't mind it. It's good, sort of get into training, have a bit of a run Wednesday, and it's not going to be as big a session as what we usually do, and then Thursday's captain's run, and then you're into it. So it's not a big training week, but it's a huge game, and there'll be a big crowd there, and Swannies are probably one of the teams to beat at the moment. So great test, and always a bit of feeling and emotion in the games. It's good fun, and games you really want to win.
Your business partner, Isaac Heaney, is just dominating at the moment. We spoke about the tag all year to multiple guests and you guys. You'd think there's going to be a bit of attention his way. You obviously won't reveal too much, but you got to think that he gets some sort of attention because he's kicking goals and he's having about 28, 30. He's in red-hot form. I know they've got a lot of guns, but you'd think you got to stop him after what he's done to you the last few times.
Yeah, definitely. No, he's in rare touch. He's one of the best players in the comp right now, but quite easily. And Grundy's given him first look as well. I reckon his ruck work's been unreal, and they get real aggressive off it. So, great test, and I'm sure we'll have a plan for him because he's flying.
Anything else about this game? I wanted to ask a question around you and Jezza when you played at the Giants. What was your favourite memory in one of these games, one of these derbies that just comes straight to mind?
Oh, well, I probably remember when Jez kicked three in probably 3 minutes or 5 minutes in the first ever final against them. It was our first ever final as a club as well, and that was a bloody good day. I think we ended up winning by 40 or 50 points, and that was the Giants' first ever final straight into a prelim. It was I remember that game fondly. It was certainly some of the better footy we've ever played.
I do remember that game, Tub, and then in the prelim, I reckon I had 2 disposals 2 weeks later. So thanks for bringing that back up. But I reckon one of my my bigger things, my best memories probably was the first time we actually beat the Swans. That was a good moment, and it wasn't so much on the field. There was a lot of joy that day on the field, but it was back at the Palace Hotel, where we went and settled into after the game. We quite often did that, but after our first ever win, I think it was round 1 and Leon's first game as well as head coach. We put on a bit of a show back at the Palace. So that was a good memory.
Is that a Craig Lambert credit card job?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Dave was back there as well, I remember.
And Gubby probably floating around then as well. So the big three someone would have sorted it out.
That were the glory days, but you used to run amok out there, I hear.
It was I remember, early days, first couple of pre-seasons, we sort of meet at the Palace at 1 p.m. on the Saturday after doing sand dunes or something like that, and Gubby would give his credit card to the most responsible bloke, so usually like a Dom Tyson or like an Adam Kennedy or something like that, and he'd say, boys, just stop the tab at 5, and so at $4.50 everyone would order 20 vodka raspberries each, and that would last us for a few hours.
Unbelievable.
Living 2 minutes across the road was trouble as well, wasn't it? Stumbling back. They were good times.
So good. I mean, you must say the club's had great retention. I know Jezza, you've left later on, but the retention early days, so you compare it. So I was thinking about it with Gold Coast. I reckon the Giants have done a fantastic job of retaining a lot of players, especially the players that they wanted. Like there's obviously been plenty of first round picks, but they've always held on to most of yours for your good 7, 8, 10 years. So it just shows why. Great club, great culture. All right, well, all the best this week, Tobes. Get it done. We want to see the Giants back on top, and this will be a real big one. You obviously had Richmond, who are down the bottom of the ladder, but you can beat the Swannies this week. A lot of respect will start going your way. A bit like Essendon, before we get to Geelong, a bit like Essendon after they took down one of the hottest teams in the competition. I'll ask you, Jez, first. Do you think the media always overreacts? Like there's always week to week, and there's a big headline around something, and Essendon's been in the gun all year. But now you see what they can do. They added Ridley in. They added some young stars in that have been trying really hard. I think the coach said it's the first time he's ever seen some, match committee be real relentless and there's blokes pushing for selection. It was a really tough discussion. But do you feel like the media just overreacts?
I feel like early in the season it tends to happen. Yeah, it's there's probably not too much to talk about, and then suddenly footy's back, and these teams are never going to win a game all year, and all this kind of stuff, and it seems to happen pretty quickly. We're only 4 rounds into the season, 5 rounds into the season, so there tends to be a little bit of an overreaction at times, but it was nice to see the Bombers boys. I did watch that game, and they looked really good, against a team that has been really good as well. So, it was nice to see some excited faces down there, and a lot of guys that are playing in their first game and got their first win. So, it was good stuff.
It was good stuff, and it was just as good as watching Mark O'Connor on the non-wing at Norwood kick 3 goals. He's never kicked more than 1 goal, and he's had 14 and 3, but I reckon he kicked about 3 1/4 and a half. He was on fire.
Absolutely, he was. Yeah, he plays a good role for us. He come back into the side after being managed the week before and played a really good role. And up around the midfield, you can put him at half back, you can have him at half forward. Plays on the wing. He plays sort of everywhere and plays a really good role for us. And I didn't know that he had kicked 3 because a couple of them were from stoppage and it happened sort of quickly and. Kicking with the wind, they were a couple of good snaps. But he mentioned it to the boys after the game that he managed to kick 3, I think, in the first half. So it was really good for us. And we got a lot of guys like that play a really good role when they come in.
We've got the Bazlenka Cup this week. Has he said anything to you? Is he a bit toey? I think he equaled the inside 50 record on the weekend. He was on fire as he always is. There wasn't enough turf out there to accumulate possessions, but he got a heap of inside 50s. But has he said anything to you about this week's game and how he's really excited?
Not yet. He was it was up and about though. He's a different character around the football club, but seemed like he was absolutely everywhere out there on Norwood, and the ball was coming in a lot over my head, mind you, a lot of the time, which we spoke about. We spoke about after the game. We'll work on that throughout the week. But
did you give out any sprays? Did you give out any clips of start hitting your kicks?
Oh, mate, I've already spoke about my mood on the weekend. I think it might be the lack of sleep around the Masters just playing its part and getting to me a little bit, but. There was I did blow up. The third time that he kicked it over my head, I went off my nut. But
what'd you say, Jez? What'd you say?
Oh no, I can't repeat it too much. But I had an umpire right next to me as I was saying it. I was sort of mumbling to myself, and he was laughing. The umpire was cracking up, shaking his head, but. He's one of those players that you just want him to get the ball. He works so hard. If you watch him, if you sit in the stands and watch him, he works so hard right across the field, and he finds, pockets of space and gets the ball into us. So I can't complain too much.
He is a workhorse. And I must say, you talk about blokes kicking it over your head, but we had Tanner Bruin at the pub as well. And I noticed he lowered his eyes perfectly, Jez, and gave you your first snag from about 50. What'd you say to him after that one went through?
Yeah, I said thank you. I appreciated that. And it was me. I just needed one on Jimby, so he had me measure up to that stage. So it was nice, when you offer that little lead and it's only a 15, 20 metre kick, and you just lower the eyes nicely. So I thank him for that. Kicking with the breeze made it a little bit easier as well to steer it through. But yeah, we've got a lot of guys sort of, and Tanner's one of those guys that he's been unreal for us, and missing, 12 months of footy, you can see how excited he is just to be out there playing footy again and just enjoying himself. So we saw him play a bit more of a role through the midfield, and we've seen him across half back, even kicking in at times because he uses it pretty well by foot.
He's really starting to hit his straps. And Tobes, you had high hopes on Tanner at the Giants, the one that got away. And no doubt you would have got something back. I can't remember what you got back, but he's going to be a superstar. I think if you got speed and skill and he works hard, I reckon he's just starting to become a really good player. Yeah,
he was, mate. I rated him. He got homesick though, poor fella, and we just couldn't keep on to him.
That's good by you. Dangerfield back, Jez?
Yeah, I think so. He's been training really, really well, and I'm pretty sure, he sort of said he could have pretty much played on the weekend, but it was just, with the short breaks and the injury he's had, it was important to make sure it's cherry ripe, and there's probably no bigger stage than the Dogs on Friday night. It's going to be a big game. They're in ripping form, and to have Danger back in the side would be great.
At Geelong?
Yeah, it is down here. So hopefully we'll get a nice. Yeah, it's been a bit windy of late, and it's cold again. It gets cold quick down here. But
I saw Mel's Beach was pumping today, the day after the surf event.
Yeah, didn't it finish though? It was. Yeah. They needed it to. DK was talking about it all weekend, mate. That bloke is unbelievable with his surfing. There's a few boys that love their surf, but they were talking about it. Yeah, they said they surfed the finals or whatnot in about 3 feet, and now it's 10 feet, which would have been really good to watch.
Yeah, they had a few days of nothing and then a couple of days of shock, and then today it absolutely blew up. I saw some videos. It's big at Bells.
You still surfing, Tobes, or you put the surfboard away? Haven't
lately, no, not heaps. It's been more spearfishing. Me and Greener were in last week. He returned after the ACL, so it's all systems go on the spearfishing front, mate. And cray season coming up.
Oh, well, look
what are you spearing up there? What are you spearing up there?
Well, kingfish is the goal. We're trying to get kingfish, but
yeah,
leather jackets last week. Salmon. Whiting, yeah, but kingies, mate. That's when I get a kingy, you'll be the first to get a photo. Don't worry.
I'll look forward to that.
Make sure you leave the freezer door closed when you do get one, in case someone comes over and checks on the Dogs. That's good. Danger's back. No English for the Dogs. Hopefully Blickow's back. You're going to have 4 blokes probably return. Talk about match committee. It's going to be a tough one for Scotty, so good luck to the boys. I did see one more before we just closed the show, but O'Sullivan, the fullback, he snuck forward late and he's missed a goal as well. Did he have a laugh with you afterwards? Because you could see Bucks and Scotty in the box. They were pissing themselves going, I think they might have even swung him forward. Go kick your first, son, and he missed it.
Nah, they definitely didn't swing him forward. He's a fullback that just gets way up the ground. We do talk about it.
I've noticed that. He actually does do that. I remember playing against him like 2 years ago, and it was his first year, and he sprinted down the field. I said, mate, go back and play on Oaks.
He can run all day, but there's nothing more flattening than when you think you're in a paddock of space and you're working hard for the ball over the back and you turn around and the key back's in your space. But he does run all day, and he's a fair talent, so we like him getting involved. But he hasn't kicked his first goal. That one was probably the closest he's got to.
He'd be flat. It was an absolute sitter as well. It was an absolute soda.
He should have just run it to the line, I think. He mentioned after the game, I should have just run it in. But he went for the check side, which key backs tend to not be that great at, and missed it. So, maybe this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's hope so. That's all I got for you, boys. I'll give you, actually, Jezza, give us a tip. Just you, Jez. Who wins, Giants or Sydney?
Jesus, Swans have been going really, really well. But Tubbs, I just want to, are you going to go to Isaac? Do you get that? If you get that match up, then I'll back the Giants. If you're not going to Isaac, then he might get off the train.
Put the hand up. I'll put the hand up.
You've got to put the hand up early. Otherwise,
He's,
who else goes to him? You hand him over the Connor if he goes forward. When he goes forward,
Yeah, I'm not
I'd
going
pick
back.
him up.
I'm not going in the back line. Nah. Yeah, Seek. Well, he wouldn't want to play on Seek. So no, he's going to need some work though. He's just about the most damaging player in the comp. So we'll have a good look at it, mates.
I'll go the Giants by under a kick, Tommy. There you go.
Going to be close. Hey, Tobes, how much percentage do you own the fifth quarter?
Me, a bit. What was that?
You got how much has Heaney got? The same amount?
Yeah, we're 50-50. Not 50-50. We own the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little percent on it this weekend. Whoever has more influence. Hey, let's put the money where the mouth is. Hey, Jezza?
Tomorrow morning. We're on tomorrow morning. So a few kids will be down and probably more swans there tomorrow, but we'll wait and see.
We'll have to get the great man on the pod soon. I try to get Tom Papley to send me a video. I love Papley and Tommy's been great to us, but he's gone business mode this week. He said, I'm going to save it for on the field, and maybe if we get the win, I'll say something in the post game. So real professional outfit from Pappers.
No, that's all right. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm flat. I'm not going to be able to watch this. Like the 2 Friday night games is a bit strange, isn't it?
I'll recap it for you on audio. I'll give you a 3-minute synopsis.
Yeah, right. Ideal.
It is. It's strange though. I don't know why they've done it. I don't know what the because you'd be the Channel 7 game as well. I reckon. Like we wouldn't even be on Channel 7. So yeah, it's a strange operation.
Feedback for the AFL, Tobes. How would they do it better?
Oh well, are you trying to grow the game in Sydney or what? What are you trying to do?
I don't know. I think they're scrapping opening round. Everyone's had enough of it.
Mate,
Don't get me started on that.
Hey, they're gonna
pisses me off.
They're going to scrap the opening round. They reckon it's gone, Tobes.
Yeah, because Victorians think they need footy every week. Oh, that's for another podcast, mate.
No, let it rip now. What? Like, it's already. No. I think they're reporting it. It's going to be scrapped. 18 teams play next year, opening round.
Yeah, it'd still be in New South Wales or Queensland, though. It has to be.
I reckon it's not good enough. Everyone's bored of it already.
Oh, well, it's not for everyone.
The G.
It's for the northern states to grow the game and gain exposure. That's the point of it.
It's an uneven advantage. We've got Hawthorn on 5-day breaks into 18-day breaks. They reckon that
this is my thing. When you ask people in Melbourne, and they get really antsy when people say NRL is the biggest sport in Australia, which it's not. AFL is, but if you want Aussie rules to be the biggest sport, hands down, you need Western Sydney. There's 2 to 3 million people there, and they're nowhere near nailing it. So you got to grow it if that's what you want, or if you just want the game to stay stagnant and not grow, then yeah, have fucking opening round at the G.
Oh, that's it. I love your passion and I love seeing you boys. Mate, I reckon we finished it on a high Tobes. That's the passion we need this week against the Swannies and the Dogs, Jez. Thanks for your time this week, boys. And to everyone, we're going to get the question tab up next week. I think Tommy Green's going to join us and we'll make sure we get Jezza's reaction from the game. But Tobes, that's an outstanding little breakdown. Sounds like we'll have to get you in these meetings more often with the AFL as they plan opening round. Have your take. Let us know. Should opening round stay or go? We'll read out some of your comments and see what Toby has to say after I read them to his face. Thanks to everyone.
I'll break it down with numbers.
He wants numbers and info.
Evidence.
He wants the evidence. Well, we'll speak about evidence. There's plenty playing out this week. And Tobes, get the Sherrin phone call ready to go. You might be calling your man next week because you might have won that bet. But there's plenty playing out. Hope everyone enjoyed another episode of TFG Tuesdays with Toby Green and his best mate, Jezza Cameron, every second week, the biggest name in the game. Boys, thanks for joining us and have another fantastic week off and on the track and can't wait to watch the double header. I'm going to have to get 2 TV screens up at the same time, boys, and just play them off at the same time.
Thanks, lads.
Very good, mate. Thanks, boys.